Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Hacking Self-Storage. It's Monday morning, and that can only mean one thing. We go through my week in numbers from a previous week, and let me tell you, it was devastating. There's no other word for it. It was devastating. We lost 4 figures, so we lost over 1,000 square foot last week. Ooh. That's my cry, by the way. It's me crying. But I'm weirdly excited today, even though we lost so many square foot. I mean, there's many reasons to be excited. I'm really excited. Number one, I'm going on holiday on Wednesday, so we're going to Spain. But number two, probably the most exciting thing, yesterday. So again, I don't know if it's going to interest you or not, but I'm going to tell you anyway, because I'm excited about it. All right, so my mentor, my business coach, he got in touch with me and says, Dean, I'm thinking of, I've got an opportunity to do some self-storage for somebody who I want to help out. We take a look. I'm like, yeah, of course I will, mate. I love it. So I looked at the area. I'm like, oh my God, it's a population of 25,000 people and there's no self-storage. Yeah, it's a good opportunity, buddy. So I did a little video, go through what I'd look at, competition, etc., and no competition, go through the population, go through how much square foot there's supposed to be per capita. And yeah, did a video. And I came back to it last night because I was doing a little bit of work last night, doing some little bit of emails, and I thought, oh, let's have a look. So I just went in and around the area, and all of a sudden I saw this other place which has got meaning in my family because of where my grandma grew up. And so I was like, oh, I wonder if there's any self-storage there. I can't tell you the name of it yet. And it has a population of 60,000 people and no meaningful self-storage, or yeah, a couple of self-storages, but none that you won't want to compete with. And I'm like, oh my God, this is incredible. What an opportunity here. Just by luck. I mean, this is what I tend to do anyway. I spend a lot of my time going through towns and smaller cities looking for opportunities. But because there's so many towns in the UK, it's hard to get, well, you can't get through them all ever. And so I just enjoy doing this. So every time I've got 5-10 minutes, I go through a town and have a look. And normally the town's good. So normally there's an opportunity, but then the premises isn't there or the land isn't there. So the opportunity's there, but there's no land. And then so I put it on my watch list where I go back every single 3 weeks or so. And I'll look, see if there's any more land come up. I set alerts, etc. But the alerts aren't particularly good. And I speak to a estate agent, say, tell me they're going to let me know, notify me when something comes up, but they never do. And so I put it on my watch list. And so there's normally loads and loads of towns, loads and loads of places on my watch list. And then there's no buildings or no land or anything. But yesterday I put it on my, so I was about to put it on my watch list, looked at it, and I went on right move, went on Zoopla and all the different ones, Reela. And all of a sudden I saw this one. It's on the corner. It's near McDonald's, and it's a busy road. I was like, what? What is going on here? Anyway, £3 per square foot, yes. So it's not a particularly wealthy area. However, £3 per square foot, it is mental. Anyway, today, Bank Holiday Monday, I'm recording this, going for a run, and then I am off there to have a look at it. And ultimately, I'm going to put an offer in. If it's everything that it looks like on the pictures, I'm putting an offer in because it's a no-brainer. Don't get me wrong, it's not a big site. And so it's going away from it's going away from me trying to open 20,000, 30,000 square foot buildings. And I know that I said because of the economic climate that I wouldn't be opening a new site, and here we are opening another 2. But when an opportunity arises, then it's just a no-brainer. It's like I say, it's only 8,000 square foot. It's 25 grand or 24 grand for the rent. It is literally a no-brainer. And also what I want to do, because Gavin Shields, I keep seeing his posts and stuff about what he's doing and what his customers are doing with having the prices online. I'm still a massive advocate of hiding my prices behind information wall so we can get in touch with that customer. However, because this is such a great opportunity, it doesn't really matter if it takes a year to fill or 2 years to fill. And so what I'm going to do with this one is do it absolutely fully automated. I'm not going to chase a customer. I'm gonna let it play out and see what happens, because it's okay me saying, well, I tried it first of all at Clough Road for 2 or 3 months. It wasn't really working, so I switched it, and all of a sudden, boom, Clough Road started working. It's okay me saying that, but it's not a comparison. It's not A versus B, and so it's very, very difficult to draw any absolute definites. Now, I believe that from what we've seen, it's It's hard to be 100%, but I believe that it works better with a firewall. However, I'm willing to try. I want to test it. I want to try it. So this site will be completely manless, completely automated. And yes, there'll be a telephone number there. And yes, we can show people around remotely. And yes, that we'll always answer the phone and answer questions. However, we won't do any follow-up with any of the quotes, and we'll see how it plays out. I'm super excited to see that. I have my thoughts. I don't think it will be as prolific as if we did have people chasing up, but then you've got to offset it with staff costs, etc., and time, and making sure that you've got staff all there. And so yes, it will be more prolific, I believe. I can't believe it won't be. However, then you've got the savings of less staff because of it, less time. And so it'll be very, very interesting. And obviously we'll document the whole process. I'm really, really excited. And just to let you guys know, there is opportunities out there. I spend a lot of time doing it. So when the opportunities come around, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so excited, because I might have up to 100 sites and only one come up that is good. But yeah, this one is terrific. And like I say, £24,000 rent. The rates are like 16,000. So it's 8,000 payable. I mean, it's a no-brainer. It's nothing. I can test it. It almost doesn't matter if it works or not works. And even at, let me get my details up, even at £15 per square foot, I will net 50 grand a year from this. And so that means I've just put in fit out costs, by the way, because there's no mezzanine, it's all on one floor. There's no extra floor. So even with that, it's going to come out at £20 per square foot. I'm putting £20 per square foot for the Noki and whoever we go with. So 20, I get a return of 26.5% return, cash on cash, which is incredible. And that's filling up 450 square foot per month, which we should absolutely smash. And it's £15 per square foot the rent that we're going to get, which obviously we get a lot more than that. In every other site we've got, we get over £20 per square foot, 22 at Beverley, 24, I think, at Willerby. And currently at the minute it's £19.62 at Clough Road. But I don't know the area. So again, like I always say, I would rather go under than over. I'd rather underestimate. And let's just say we get £17 per square foot. It's a 33% return cash on cash, which is incredible, absolutely bananas. And that's just £17 per square foot. Let's say it's £18 per square foot. Then it goes up to a 37% return. If we get £20 per square foot, which I don't think we will do, because I do know the area somewhat because of my grandma growing up there, it's a 43.5% return. Either way, it's a no-brainer. It will make money, but it just, how much money? What do we get? What is the price per square foot? And it'd be great to test it as well. And by the way, this spreadsheet, I'm using Stora's financial model. You can get it on their homepage, stora.co, and you can use it. I think it's incredible. Really, really simple to use, easy, and you can see your returns and how much cash you'll need, etc. So I geek out and love just playing around with it. Even at £16 per square foot, we're talking about a 30% return cash on cash. But not only that, you're building an asset. You're building an asset that you can sell, which is nuts. So let's have a look. How much will that be making every single month? So 4,542, and it means it'll be £55,000 a year net profit. So it's not massive money. It's not massive money at all, but it's worth testing, and that's including spending money on pay-per-clicks as well, which we're the only people in town, so we probably won't have to spend money on pay-per-clicks. If we took marketing off, it'd be a return of 32% return on investment. But let's put 320 quid down as pay-per-clicks. Who knows? Might be less, might be more. But it'll be ultimately, this place will fill up really, really fast. Anyway, right, you've come for weekly figures. I'm just telling you about what I'm doing today. As you can tell, I'm really excited, so I can't wait to get out there and have a look at it. Right, last week was a bit of a disaster for us, as you know, but there is some positives. Not many, but there is some positives. Oh, bloody hell, I'm looking how much square foot's due in this next week as well. Ooh. Right, so amount of quotes, 39 quotes. Average quotes per day, 5.57. Number of reservations, here's the positive, 15 reservations. So that's a conversion rate from quotes to reservations of 38.46%. Unbelievable numbers. My team could not do any better at all. What's really, really let us down this month, and we'll go into monthly figures, we're 2,000 square foot down. What's really, really let us down but I'll go into monthly figures in another podcast. What's let us down is the amount of move-ins. We haven't had the number of move-ins, the square footage. Yes, we've had a bad week for move-outs this week. 2,200 square foot moved out, which is a killer. But in the weeks running up to this, we haven't had enough square foot moved in. Am I worried? Yes, I'm worried because the economic climate. I mean, our prices have nearly doubled for electric, well, trebled. And so am I worried? Yes, because it's uncertainty. Me as a business owner, give me certainty and I can work with it. Give me uncertainty, I don't know what to do. And I got a text off the man with van last night, and he said, well, I texted my wife and said, loads and loads of people are trying to book me to move out. They're worried about the rising costs and they're trying to sell the stuff. I'm like, oh, fucking hell, Jesus Christ. And so am I worried? Yes, very, very worried. We're down to 78% occupancy now, which is an absolute killer. Obviously, it's still very, 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 very profitable. It's just that we was building that money up and we was going to expand. So yes, I am worried because I don't know what's next. We don't know are the government going to help out? Are they going to cap the energy prices? What's going to happen? It's massive for us. So will more and more people move out? I can only go on the trends that at the minute it's looking like we're getting a bigger churn rate than I would expect. So that is worrying. And also, not only that we're also we're seeing in America as well, because what happens in America filters over here. Americans, their self-storage as well, they're seeing higher vacates as well. So it's filtering through here. And I talk to a lot of people in America, and they're seeing exactly the same as us, which is exactly the same as me. And I spoke to Anthony Adams yesterday. Anthony, thank you so much, by the way, for telling me my website was down on a Sunday morning. Sent me a text at 7:30 in the morning. I was like, oh, thank God, thank you very much, mate. I appreciate it. And I was messaging him seeing what's happened with what has he seen in August, and it's been a quieter August for him. So it's yeah, I'm not going to say it's not worrying. Of course, it's worrying. It is worrying times. But the great thing is with self-storage is that, I mean, for example, for Clough Road, we only need to be to cover all costs. We only need to be around about 60% full to cover all costs, and that's including repayment of loans. And we've borrowed a lot of money to do Clough Road, and we've fit out 22,000 square foot of space, and that's covering all bases. That's almost 100% borrowing on that money as well, because we've got a cheaper rate and stuff. So you don't need to have many customers to make sure you cover your costs. I mean, this place that we're moving into, what do we need to be? The occupancy, it probably needs to be less than 50% in this new place I'm looking at today. So it's a solid business model. I'm not worried about the business as a whole. We all know that long-term self-storage outperforms any other asset class. I don't sound like an American, but short-term, I'm just a little bit concerned. And so that's why we've got to be very vigilant now, and we've got to make sure that we get the move-ins. Because in the winter we're going to see more and more of these move-outs, and that's what concerns me. So yeah, we've got to be on the ball. I mean, we can't do any more than 38% 0.46 conversion rate last week, which is good. So on one side, 15 reservations, good. Move-outs, bad. So people are still moving in, which is good. If we see move-ins drop and move-outs continue to be high, then we've got a disaster. But at the minute, the move-ins are still coming, the conversions are still there. So we just need to make sure that we're aware of that, and we're pushing the move-ins, because the move-outs at the minute, they're really hurting us. They're really, really hurting us. Move-outs next week are pretty bad as well. But it's just unprecedented times. We don't really know what's going to happen, so that's why we just got to keep vigilant. And I always say, who was I talking to the other week? I was saying, listen, if we're doing the right things, if we're doing the fundamentals correctly, we'll be okay long term. And so we've got to make sure that the fundamentals are still correct, and we've got to be aware. We've got to have our eyes open as well for the incoming financial crisis or the economic climate that's going to hit, and we've got to be aware of people have only got so much money as well. And I know that self-storage has performed well in a recession before, but I'm just a little bit concerned that all of a sudden look at the monthly bills and think, well, fuck that, we don't need self-storage, we'll bring it, put it in the garage, well, I don't know. So yeah, we've got to be mindful of that. Whether it's even when people give notice, we give them discount period or something like that. I don't know, but there's things we've got to try. But yeah, keep posted. I'll tell you everything that we're doing. Right, so we had 5 forward move-ins of us, 15 reservations. So that's a third, 33% conversion rate. Number of new move-ins was 12. Number of square foot moved in, new, was 950. We had 3 other people taking extra rooms for 150. So we moved in 1,100 square foot. So in itself, not too bad. 4 figures. I always want to be 4 figures. I always want to be taking 1,000 square foot move-ins in a week. The conversion rate for quotes to move-ins was 30.77%, which is incredible. Really, really good. The Luton, the Luton's back on the road. It was rented out 6 times as well. Where did the quotes come from? I'm glad you asked. The quotes came from 25, came from Google, that's 64%. Word of mouth was 5, that's 13%. Passing by was 6, that is 15%. Belver 24 was 2, so that's 5%. Used before was 1, so that's 2.5%. And all the rest was 0. So moved in square foot, we know was 1,000. Moved out, 2,200. You already knew that. Well, might then, I don't know. Anyway, so with net loss was 1,100 square foot. Oh, dagger. Absolute dagger. Amount of rooms moved in, 15. Amount of rooms moved out, 23. Dagger. So we've got 352 external rooms occupied. Oh shit, there's another dagger here. Amount of containers in, 0. Amount of containers out, 8. It's literally twisting that knife on me. Oh, occupancy, 78%. And yes, by the way, I'm very, very professional, as you can tell. Oh, I tell you, I started being real buzzing this morning about, oh yeah, I can't wait to go and see this site. And then the monthly figures. I had to have some Southern Comfort last night when these monthly figures came through. Oh, right. Okay. Merchandise sales, £20.72 per move-in. We always try to hit 25. Amount of insurance sold. Oh, we're still below on this one as well. Insurance sold was 48,000. So that's an average of £4,000 per move-in. Oh, shit. Another dagger. 5 move-ins due next week for 695 square foot. Amount of move-outs is 13 for 1,105. Shit, man. Shit. Right. Visitors to the website. We got 590. Sorry, I'll tell you what, we're for new users, 566 new users. Obviously, we got 15 reservations. So divided by 15 is 15 divided by 566 is a conversion rate of 20. That's interesting. I'll just go 1 second. I'm just going to make sure I'm doing this right. 1 minute. I'm going to pause this. I'll be back in a second. And I'm back. Yeah, I was doing it incorrect. So basically, we're having a 2%. From the amount of visitors to the website to the amount of actual reservations, we're hitting 2.6% last week. So you'd expect a little bit more than that. It's interesting. This is the top of the funnel, by the way. So this is the amount of visitors you've got. And then I've got here the 64. Oh yeah, look at this. This is good. So I've got someone to make me a report every single week, and I get this report coming out that 88 people visited the quote request page. Oh, this is golden. And so, right, so 88 people, so 566 visitors, new visitors to our website. Out of that, 88% of people, 88 people went to see the Willerby quote form. Only 44 people filled out the quote form, although we only got 39 quotes. So that means that 5 of those was like people taking the mick, putting, Joe blogs and stuff like that. So we don't count them as actual quotes. So we got 88 people visiting the page, but only 44 actually went and filled out the form. So half of the people who visited the quote form didn't look. So obviously didn't fill out the form, so didn't get the prices, etc. So that could be. I mean, we've only just started collecting this data, so it's too early to make any informed decisions or anything. But it's interesting because 88 people wanted the price, but only 44 people got the price because of the firewall, of the information on the wall. Obviously, we hide it behind. So it'll be interesting if we actually showed the prices. I don't think it'll be good to show the prices, but there's definitely an argument because of these datas here. So it's interesting. Clough Road, we had 64 people visit the page, and excuse me, and less than half of those people filled it out. So that is really, really fascinating. And this is why it'll be so good to open a new site and do it the other way around when it matters, obviously, it makes money, but in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't, so we can test it. So yeah, fascinating data. Love it. Absolutely love this data now. Let's say I've got some more here. Organic searches, paid searches. Oh my God, we got more organic. Wow, that's interesting. Anyway, again, it's only very, very early to see this. Sessions, page sessions, page sessions. Oh, the average session time is higher. I'm just looking at these because I like I said before, I think it was last week I did an episode. I realized that I don't and haven't been acting like a proper marketer because it's been too easy with self-storage, and all the e-commerce platforms and sites I've ever had, I've always gone into all the data like this, and I've never gone into it with storage because I didn't need to. And I was like, oh, why didn't I do it? That's ridiculous. Of course we should do it. And so now I'm having a look. Direct. Look at that. We've got direct. We've had 48 users come direct, 10 from referral. I wonder where the referral is. 1 from social. So only 1 visitor out of the 566 came from our social channels, and we're very prolific on Facebook as well. We don't pay to advertise on Facebook, but we're very prolific posting. So only 1 out of 566 visitors came from social. Crazy stats. Exactly what I expect. I completely disagree with anybody who says social is the way forward for self-storage. It definitely isn't. And by the way, in all other businesses, I am a massive advocate for social. I think it's an underutilized platform. TikTok, Facebook, Insta, LinkedIn, etc. I think they're all, it depends on what business you are, to which platform you use, because of the demographics changes. But yeah, in self-storage, there's a need for self-storage, and so therefore you don't go to social media for it. Right, organic search versus paid search. Organic, we've got 419 users, and paid, we only got 132. Really, really interesting data there. Really interesting. I love it. I absolutely love it. Let's have a look. So now completions. Yeah, done all that. Right, let's have a look at the revenue as well. Jesus, I'm taking my time here. 23 minutes. Jesus. Right, last week. Oh, it's a good week on the revenue. That's good. So we took £30,109.11. The net revenue for Clough Road was £4,661.57. Beverley, we took £7,160.20. That has to be the best week we've ever done. I don't know why it was so good. 7,000 quid at Beverley. Mental. That's crazy. That's double what we normally do, or nearly double. At Willerby, £18,287.34 with £587 worth of bounce direct debits. Right, guys, girls, I'm going to love you and leave you because I need to get going, because I go on holiday on Wednesday, and I'm going to Gulliver's Cove or somewhere. It's Gulliver's Kingdom tomorrow, and then we're going straight to the airport hotel because we're flying at 6 o'clock. So I've only got today to record shitloads of podcasts and also pack, because I haven't packed yet. All right, my friends, love you, appreciate you. And I actually can't wait for the kids to go back to school so I can start working properly again. All right, my friends. So yeah, bye. Have a great week. Bye.